For breaking headlines to backroom whispers.
All served hot and fresh. Happy Tuesday. I'm Monique Tuzon-Basi.
I'm Ferdi Salvador. Glad to have you with us.
I'm Mai Rodriguez. This is the Daily Dish.
And I'm Chal Lontoc. Join us the next hour and a half with the news meets the stories that matter to all of us.
And now it's the day after the Oscars.
It's literally all over my feed, and I'm obsessed with all the fashion. But what caught my attention was after winning for Best Actor for Sinners, Michael B. Jordan. He celebrated at In-N-Out. It was all over my feed.
He got me all hungry.
And he brought like his trophy, and everybody there was geeking out. They're like, "Oh my gosh, it's Michael B. Jordan!" Like, how cool would that be?
That was so fun to watch.
It was so fun.
Yes, but you know what? He deserves it, and you know it's refreshing to see a major Hollywood actor go down that route instead of having fancy champagne and going to like
the after party.
I love his acceptance speech as well.
Really?
Yeah. And also, you want to talk about the aftermath of the Oscars.
Yes, because
in the Dolby Theater.
Guys, there's this backlash of all these fans that watched the Oscars after when they saw how filthy the theater was after the show. So none of them cleaned up, none of the actors allegedly cleaned up, and that is the mess you're seeing on the screen right now. And that's not the only post that they have. In fact, they have some videos of snack boxes, and
this is so disappointing.
This actually makes sense because I saw the goodie bags for all of them. It has raisins, chocolate raisins, raisinets, together with popcorn and the box itself. So it looks like that's the mess that they made right now.
Yeah,
they left all their trash inside.
Yeah, because that's what they're saying. Because they're like, hey, you guys are like for the climate, and yet you got empty water bottles.
They didn't get the Claygo and bring your own tumbler memo.
I think they should do that.
They should have a Claygo and like bring your own tea.
Or maybe there was no trash can right inside the theater.
I'm sorry.
People are calling out the
Bring
hypocrisy.
it with you.
Or be like in Japan. Like in Japan, they make baon, the plastic bags. So like
Also,
baon, soup it with you.
Take
and,
it
like,
with
keep
you.
it
No,
there
not
so you
even
can
that.
bring
Even
it.
here, the movie theaters, they've got trash cans on either side of the hall, and then you put your trash after watching the movie.
Or you wait and carry it with you.
Yeah.
So.
Well, aside from the Oscars, not the Grammys, the Oscars, there's also a lot of talk online because One Piece Season 2 is out, and Mac and You, this cutie pie, actually had a scene where he defeated 100 people. And you know how netizens are when they watch? They really count every single person.
No way.
And they stayed true to it. 100 people. So it took like 8 days just to shoot this scene. And it was really 100 people because he knew that people would count.
He really
And I
counted
did. I really
himself.
It's a thing?
Yes, it's a thing. I really counted too. I really counted. We were like 92, 93, 94, okay, 95. It just went straight.
I'm gonna
ask
ask my son about this. I'm sure he knows.
Yeah, so both young
No,
and
he
young
was
are
counting
hearts.
though. When I was watching the interview, he was counting during the movie.
As well.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna be counting 3, 4, okay, 97, 98, 100.
Can you educate me? Who's this guy? And that's how you pronounce his name, pala.
Mac and You. He's the cutest one.
Where's
he's a
he
real
from?
He's Japanese.
Okay.
And he's a real martial artist as well. And he's part of One Piece. And One Piece is one of those anime that has been turned to a live action. And it's really catching a lot of people, young and young at heart,
This is
because
on
of
my
the
bucket
themes.
list to watch.
You
I know
have
him
to.
very vaguely because my son wanted to go as him
For Halloween?
last Halloween. Yeah.
Well, there's actually an installation at BGC as well.
Yes, I saw you brought your sons there.
Yes, and everyone's there. Even people dressed up as the characters. It's such a big thing because the theme of the show really hits close to what's happening right now as
I'm
well.
so uncool.
Oh, you have to know
don't
this,
know.
Tita Ferdi.
Now you know, so you're cool. You're cool now.
I still don't know. I'm not
It's okay.
cool.
There's just 1,000 episodes to catch up with.
I don't thank you so much.
Now you know, just Google One Piece and
I plan to binge watch Chinese like Netflix
Chinese.
movies this
I
weekend.
heard Chinese teleseries are where it's at right now. Actually,
Tita Ferdi.
Tita Ferdi's on that trend.
Let's go with the captions.
And it teaches you how to count.
Also,
it teaches me some.
but you know how. San Su.
Okay, I am
I
lost.
only know hanggang 4.
I am lost. Let's go back to the Oscars because people are talking about the skinny Ozempic face all over Hollywood.
Everyone.
Yes, and they're calling it out. There's actually a name for it, and I'm so
What is
sad because in the run-up to the Oscars, diba, there are a lot of award shows, right? And I read an article, they actually started running out of these GLPs, right? And even the skinny actresses are also microdosing on these injectables. So now they're like even skinnier, and people are sad about what happened to body positivity, and also maybe they are overdoing it.
Who are the ones that are being called out?
A very big discussion. People you see in the red carpet, also on the screens, they're saying, you know, maybe they're just not the healthy, you know, skinny now.
Okay, I mean,
So
let's talk about body positivity.
It goes both ways, I think. Yes.
Thank you, Chal.
Yeah.
Super. Like, don't judge us if we're skinny. I mean,
No, there's healthy skinny, but there's also, you know, skeletal
yeah.
skinny.
But
Sometimes-
unhealthy
And that's what
skinny.
people. You are healthy, I know
I
it.
just have to put it in there. You know what I mean?
Well, one person that I saw who really got talked about nonstop and who really got fried during the Oscars is no other than Timothée Chalamet.
Our buddy.
Chalamet.
But he took it well. Took it well.
Actually, guys, if you saw the Sinners part where they announced Misty Copeland, who is a retired ballerina in the U.S., she came out and performed just for that, and all over like Threads and X, people were saying like she better have danced next to Timothée Chalamet because ballet was up in their face.
And it's so back because
It's
of her.
beautiful.
Yeah, but you know what? Hey, let's just give Timothy a break. I know he's been bashed up and down the street, but let's move on.
Wait. Can I say something real quick about
What's
that?
that?
In his favor, because I was listening to a podcast, they only spliced the part of him saying about ballet and
happens,
opera.
yes.
But the podcast I was listening to, if you listen to the whole context, he meant well. He didn't really mean to like bash it. He was just saying in the context of what the interview asked.
Was this
so
at
let's
the
bring that up
same
tomorrow.
And this one is-
interview as Matthew McConaughey? Was it that
Yeah.
interview?
That's the only- that's the only
Okay.
interview
And
they
this
did.
one
bring
is
it
not
up.
confirmed too, but I did hear that Timothée Chalamet's mom was also a ballerina. So we'll
Okay.
put two and two together later on.
Yeah, we'll figure that out.
So much to talk about, but today we have real-life couple and R&B stars Jay-R and Mica Javier.
Yes, on Songs for Selina. And we also have content creator Kristine Fernandez on her fashion style. So we've got a pretty loaded
Yes.
If you
guest
notice,
lineup.
all our guests are like from Philippines and on abroad because Christine's coming on live from Australia as well.
Yes.
Exciting show up ahead, so stay tuned. But first, the headlines. In today's top stories, oil firms implement the country's most expensive fuel increase to date with the second round of double-digit oil price hikes seen today. Transport officials announced the fare hike in PUVs. It will take effect this week. The government starts distributing fuel subsidies to the transport sector. And later in the show, we'll speak with artists Jay-R and Mica Javier. We also have content creator Kristine Fernandez. Stay tuned for that. Now, motorists are lining up for the most expensive fuel to date following the surge in oil prices. Che Sulit is reporting to us live from Philcoa in Quezon City. Che, what are the motorists saying?
My oil firms are implementing the second round of the big-time fuel price hike today, March 17. Motorists will have to tighten up their belts yet again due to the next wave of the double-digit price increases. Energy Secretary Sharon Garin says this marks the country's most expensive fuel prices. This comes amid the ongoing conflict in the Middle East, where passing through the Strait of Hormuz is still considered unsafe for oil shipments. Based on figures released by the Energy Department on Monday, gasoline will increase by 12 pesos and 90 centavos to 16 pesos and 60 centavos per liter. diesel by 20 pesos and 40 centavos to 23 pesos and 90 centavos per liter, and kerosene by 6 pesos and 90 centavos to 8 pesos and 90 centavos per liter. Garin also said 5 companies have disclosed their staggered fuel price hike scheme for this week. At Shell, gasoline will have a total increase of 16 pesos and 60 centavos per liter. Diesel will rise by 23 pesos and 90 centavos, while kerosene will go up by 6 pesos and 90 centavos. At Petron, gasoline will see a total increase of 12 pesos and 90 centavos per liter. Diesel will go up by 20 pesos and 40 centavos, while kerosene will increase by 8 pesos and 90 centavos. Flying V will also implement the same price hikes. Meanwhile, Total and Sea Oil will implement staggered price hikes for 2 days. Sea Oil will raise gasoline prices by a total of 16 pesos and 30 centavos per liter. Diesel will increase by 23 pesos and 30 centavos, while kerosene will go up by 6 pesos and 90 centavos. At Total, gasoline will increase by 14 pesos and 10 centavos per liter, while diesel will increase by 20 pesos and 70 centavos. As oil prices surge in the world market, Garin said diesel prices could possibly reach 115 pesos per liter. Last week, fuel prices also saw sharp increases, with diesel rising by as much as 24 pesos and 25 centavos per liter, gasoline up by 13 pesos per liter, and kerosene by as much as 38 pesos and 50 centavos per liter. On the government's plans, the House of Representatives has approved on third and final reading a bill that would allow President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. to suspend fuel excise tax collection during emergencies. Diesel is currently taxed at 6 pesos per liter, gasoline at 10 pesos, kerosene at 5 pesos, and liquefied petroleum gas at 3 pesos per liter. Garin also assures the Philippines has enough fuel supply until the end of April. She says the Marcos administration is negotiating additional supplies from South Korea, Thailand, Singapore, and Japan, while also searching for alternative suppliers for its stockpile. Garin adds that she is open to reviewing the oil deregulation law, but only to a certain extent. The DOE continues to push for fuel efficiency measures, urging Filipinos to use resources responsibly and stop hoarding. Motorists are also lining up today in gas stations. Despite the price hikes effective today, people are filling up their vehicles up to the full tank.
For me, hindi naman ako madalas mag-full tank, pero baka ganun na yung maging regular ko na gawin para mas tipid. Mabihira na lang ako pumunta ng gas station.
Wala tayong magawa. It's beyond our control. Minamanage na namin ang crisis. Isa-isa lang lahat.
My motorists have said they are coming to terms with the fuel price increases. They have also said that they are in support of the government in their efforts to mitigate these challenges. Mai?
We are certainly feeling the pinch even more. Che Sulit, thank you for that report live from Philcoa in Quezon City. President Bongbong Marcos assures the public the government is taking decisive action to protect Filipinos from soaring fuel prices. Laika Cuevas has the full report.
5,000 pesos.
No one will be left behind amid the surging prices of fuel, President Bongbong Marcos said ahead of the first day of the subsidy rollout in Metro Manila. In a message Monday, Marcos outlined the contingency measures lined up for March and April, including the urgent bills amending the Biofuels Act and granting him emergency powers to drop the scale of excise tax on petroleum.
Mga kababayan, ngayon higit kailanman, kailangan natin ang pagtutulungan ng bawat isa. Walang iwanan, walang maiiwan sa pagharap natin sa hamong ito.
After today's rollout, the Agriculture and Fisheries Department will each roll out 3,000 pesos for about 52,000 farmers and fishermen. An additional 2,000 pesos will be rolled out from the Presidential Assistance for Farmers and Fisherfolk program. Meanwhile, PBBM called on local governments to closely monitor their barangays over reports of a pass-through fee collection during subsidy rollouts. Still on the oil price hike, the fuel surcharge review will be shortened from 1 month to just 15 days to give way for airlines to assess and reduce their airfare. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines will reduce passenger service charge, parking fee, and landing fee according to PBBM. By end of March, the fuel subsidy program from the Transportation Department will begin. Laika Cuevas, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
A business group urges the government to expand financing aid for micro, small, and medium enterprises amid the expected price hike in basic commodities in the coming months. Brian Ang of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry tells BNC's Business Brief this will significantly help, especially if it's distributed quickly.
For small businesses, we have always called for expanded financing to help our MSMEs. And the timing is perfect. BPI launched an MSME fund last week, around 7 billion pesos, both for returning OFWs and women who are in the MSME sector. And I think this will help greatly if you can distribute this as fast as you distribute the ayudas. This can at least help them, get through and minimize any layoff of jobs or even possible closure.
With fuel prices climbing again, TNVS drivers are set to see a 20 peso hike in their base fare. Ched Gatchalian has the latest on how this will affect commuters and drivers alike. Ched, go ahead.
Yes, the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board, or LTFRB, announced a 20 peso increase in the base fare of TNVS drivers this morning. The LTFRB said this will be permanent, along with other fares of other public utility vehicles once they get their fare matrix.
The last one that we are supposed to decide is the TNVS. Ito yung mga Grab natin, mga in-drive, no? Okay. Yung base fare nila ngayon, which is 45 pesos, inakyat po natin ng 20 pesos or 65 pesos. It's a 20 peso increase across the board as far as the TNVS is concerned. Other than that, there's been no increase. Per kilometer rate ng TNVS remains the same. Yung per minute rate nila stays the same.
Right now we're talking with TNVS drivers, and most of them say the 20 peso increase in base fare can help, especially after another big-time oil price hike today. But they add they're also still worrying about the fuel subsidy that's yet to be given to them. TNVS drivers hope the adjusted base fare can take effect quickly to cushion the impact of the oil price hike today. Mai?
Ched, how about other public transport vehicles?
Yes, for traditional public utility jeepneys, the LTFRB announced a 1 peso increase in base fare on or first 4 kilometers, then 20 centavo increase for succeeding kilometer. For modern jeeps, a 2 peso increase in first 4 kilometers, then 20 centavos increase as well for succeeding kilometer. For ordinary Metrobus, 2 peso increase in base fare, then 3 peso increase in base fare for air-conditioned buses. For provincial buses, a 1 peso increase will take effect in base fare of ordinary buses, then 20 centavos increase in succeeding kilometers. Finally, for airport taxi, there will be 40 peso increase on first 500 meters of its travel. Mai?
Thank you, Ched Gatchalian reporting. The Department of Social Welfare and Development begins the distribution of fuel subsidies amid skyrocketing oil prices. On BNC's Politico Nightly, Secretary Rex Gatchalian said the assistance will benefit nearly 140,000 tricycle drivers across Metro Manila. Gatchalian also expressed confidence that the subsidy rollout will not be politicized amid past controversies surrounding the agency's financial aid programs, including the assistance to individuals in crisis situations.
Well, tatandaan natin, pagdating sa hanay ng mga tricycle driver, ang by law ang nagbibigay talaga ng mga license to operate nila ay ang mga local government units. Ako, mataas ang pananalig ko. Dati akong mayor na hindi naman to gagamitin ng mga kasamahan nating mga mayor sa politika. Alam natin na sa crisis tayo at alam natin ang ating mga mayors, lalo na sa Metro Manila, are up to the challenge na tulungan ng kanilang mga kababayan. At pangalawa, yung people, kung may magtatanong at mag-aakusa, they can always cross-reference naman. Ipakita nila yung kanilang license to operate, di ba? Kasi tulad na sabi ko, simple lang basihan dito. License to operate, then masasama ka sa listahan.
President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. leads the cash aid distribution for trike drivers in Metro Manila to help ease the impacts of the surge in fuel prices. Ian Maghanoy is on the phone to tell us more. Ian, tell us who were the initial beneficiaries of this cash aid.
Yes, Mai, at least 300 trike drivers in the city of Manila lined up to claim their respective 5,000 pesos cash aid under the AIX program of Department of Social Welfare and Development. The payout started early Tuesday, headed by President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr., following another mega oil price rollback brought about by rising tensions in the Middle East. Marcos revealed that the next tranche of payout is intended for TNVS and jeepney drivers and operators, which will take place next week. Marcos likewise assured the public of the government's continuous monitoring of developments in the Middle East in a bid to ensure the livelihood security of the transport sector and commuters amid the oil price hike. An estimated 139,000 trike drivers across Metro Manila will benefit from the 3-day payout until Thursday, March 19. Mai?
Ian, tell us about the reaction of some of the beneficiaries upon receiving this 5,000 peso cash aid from the government.
Yes, Mai, some were satisfied from the payout, but most of them were dissatisfied, arguing that 5,000 pesos can only last for 4 days of boundary amid the oil price hike. Mai?
Thank you, Ian Maghanoy, reporting. The Akbayan Party slams the looming closure of the Independent Commission for Infrastructure. The group's president, Rafaela David, tells BNC's On Point the agency has extremely under-delivered. David also stressed the, quote, big fish behind the flood control scandal have yet to be made accountable.
Ang meron palang napatawan ng arrest ay si Bong Revilla, Senator Bong Revilla. Ang sabi ngayon ng ombudsman ay meron silang or at least tinutuloy daw nila yung bola nung pinasa sa kanila ng ICI and they're conducting preliminary investigations sa ilan pa dun sa mga malalaking isda na ito. So para sa atin, ito ay puro preliminary investigations pa lang, recommendations from the ICI at wala pa talagang ganap na mga kaso na nagpa-file.
The ICI is set to shut down on March 31st. David suggests that instead of closing operations, the commission should be strengthened to ensure accountability and results. Amid rising fuel prices, Filipino workers still face no wage relief. On BNC's The Spokes, Kamanggagawa Party List Representative Eli San Fernando said that the national minimum wage bill has yet to be calendared for plenary debate in the lower chamber. He notes that while the committee groundwork is complete, the scheduling is held up in the House Rules Committee chaired by presidential son Sandro Marcos.
So itong bill na to, yung mga major concerns ng mga iba't ibang grupo, business groups and other sectors, ina-address na. Tapos kung may ilan pa, tingin nila na hindi na sa pool o nakapaloob dito sa National Minimum Wage Bill, yung HB 8081, daanin natin sa debate.
Tama.
Tapos kung may gusto kayong amyenda, ito natin sa plenary daanin. Pero hindi mangyayari hanggat hindi na sa schedule.
Yung how does this work in the House? Kayong dalawa, alam nyo to sigurado. How do you set or calendar for a plenary debate an issue? So meron na, kompleto na yung groundwork. Tapos na, may report na yung committee. The congressmen are willing. They have signed on. 191, more than majority na yan. Where's the hold-up?
Sa rules.
Sino yung head?
Rules kasi yung nagsiset ng
Who is the majority leader?
Representative Sandro Marcos.
Pakiulit?
Representative Sandro Marcos.
Okay. Kala ko mali lang yung pagdinig ko.
Budget reforms are in the spotlight as the Senate tackles long-standing gaps and loopholes in the national budget process. Senate President Pro Tempore Ping Lacson raised key concerns on unprogrammed funds, agency coordination, and budget realism, sparking a push for a new Philippine budgeting code. Hannah T joins us live from the Senate for more on this. Hannah, what's the latest?
My reforms are being pushed in the national budget process, and Senate President Pro Tempore Ping Lacson raised 4 key concerns as the Senate Finance Committee pressed on the DBM. Lacson questioned an issue on a code that appears in the National Expenditure Program, but these codes appear to disappear when the budget transitions to the General Appropriations Act, only to reappear during implementation. Second, he flagged the lack of a clear convergence mechanism, particularly the coordination between national agencies and local governments. According to Lacson, if implementing agencies like the DPWH are not involved early in planning, project execution suffers, resulting in low utilization rates. Third, Lacson raised concerns on budget realism, questioning whether appropriations are aligned with the actual capacity of agencies to implement projects. And fourth, he questioned the use of unprogrammed appropriations, asking whether these should be limited particularly to foreign-assisted projects or FAPs. These unprogrammed funds are earlier flagged as pork barrel-like amid the flood control scandal investigation. In response, the DBM said a technical working group is already reviewing the codes issue, while also stressing that there is a wall between the executive and legislative branches in budget preparation. On unprogrammed appropriations, the DBM expressed support for limiting these to the barest minimum, with proposals now focusing mostly on foreign-assisted projects. My budget concerns are now being addressed in a proposed reform measure filed by Senate Finance Committee Chair Win Gatchalian. Under his bill seeking to establish a Philippine budgeting code, the goal is to create a single comprehensive legal framework that will fix long-standing issues in the budget system. The proposal seeks to standardize rules across the entire budget process, from planning and appropriations to implementation and accountability, to prevent inconsistencies and loopholes. The bill introduces clearer rules on public funds, special funds, and the budget cycle, which aim to close gaps that have long been exploited in the system. Both the DBM and lawmakers have agreed that the bill Gatchalian is pushing for will pave the way for a better budget process following intense investigations on the alleged kickback scheme in the flood control scandal. Back to you, Mai.
Thanks for the update, Hannah T, joining us live from the Senate. Vice President Sara Duterte has already responded to the impeachment complaints filed against her. Alamin natin ang detalye mula kay Isaiah Mirafuentes mula sa Batasang Pambansa. Isaiah, anong reaksyon ng mga kongresista sa sagot ni VP Sara?
May alam mo, may tuturing na buzzer beater ang pagsumite ng sagot ng kampo ni Vice President Sara Duterte sa House Committee on Justice. Ito ay kaugnay pa rin sa impeachment complaints ng kinaharap na ikalawang Pangulo dito sa Kamara, na isumite nila yan kahapon ng hapon alas 4:30. Sa kopyang nakuha ng Bilyonaryo News Channel sa 13 pahina ng Consolidated Verified Answer ad Catalam, sinabi ng ikalawang Pangulo na walang pagkakaiba ang laman ng mga reklamo sa 2025 articles of impeachment na nauna nang idiniklarang unconstitutional ng Supreme Court. Sinabi rin niya na bigo ang nagrereklamo sa kanya nang magpresenta ng mga makatotohanang aligasyon. Samantala, nabasa na ni Congressman Terry Ridon ang laman ng dokumento na isinumite ng kampo ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Anya, bigo ang ikalawang Pangulo na sagutin ang mga aligasyong laman ng dalawang impeachment complaints. At sa laman ng mga dokumento, sinusubukan pa raw questionin ni VP Sara ang proseso ng impeachment batay sa isang magulong interpretasyon ng due process. Giit ni Ridon, hindi raw pinagkakaitan ng due process si VP Sara. Sa katunayan ay binigyan siya ng pagkakataong sumagot, ngunit hindi raw niya ganap na pinabulaanan ng mga aligasyon laban sa kanya. Sa kabila nito, nanindigan ng Committee on Justice na kanilang itutuloy ang impeachment process dito sa Kamara. May hanggang sa ngayon ay nagpapatuloy pa rin tayong kumalap ng mga reaksyon mula sa iba't ibang mga mambabatas kaugnay nga sa naging sagot ng ikalawang Pangulo ni VP Sara. Pero nauna nang nanindigan ang ilang mga mambabatas, partikular na itong mga nagsumite ng reklamo, maging yung mga nasa Makabayan Block na naniniwala sila na matibay at sapat ang kanilang mga ebidensya para mapatalsik ang ikalawang Pangulo. May.
May reaksyon na ba ang ikalawang Pangulo kaugnay sa sinabi ni Congressman Terry?
May hanggang sa ngayon, wala pa tayong natatanggap na reaksyon mula sa kampo ng ikalawang Pangulo kaugnay nga sa mga naging reaksyon ng kongresista. Maliban dyan, sinagot lang sa atin ni Attorney Michael Poa ang sinabi niya kung bakit nga ba halos late now, buzzer beater na nilang isinumiti ang kanilang sagot. Paliwanag niya sa atin, normal naman daw ito sa korte, karamihan nga naman daw talaga ay nagsusumiti ng sagot sa huling araw. Mai.
Isaiah, recently may nabanggit rin si Congressman Ridon na kabilang sa kanilang posibleng ipasabpina ay ang business records at income tax ni VP Sara at ng kanyang asawa. And the VP said na law benders daw ang mga mambabatas. Ano naman ang reaksyon dito?
May kahapon nakausap din natin si Congressman Terry Don. Sinasabi niya sa atin, hindi siya naniniwalang law bender sila, sinusunod lang daw nila kung ano ang nasa batas at gagawin lang daw nila kung ano ang nasa batas at yung mga proseso raw na gagawin nila sa impeachment proceeding ay nakabatay raw sa konstitusyon. Mai.
Maraming salamat, Isaiah Benafuentes ng Abante, nag-uulat mula sa Batasang Pambansa. Manila 3rd District Representative Joel Chua finds Vice President Sara Duterte's response to her impeachment complaint weak. Chua tells Politico Nightly the Vice President did not answer the grounds for the impeachment.
Overall, sa akin pong paniniwala ay parang medyo mahina naman yung kanilang sagot dahil hindi naman nila sinagot per grounds, no? Bagkus parang kino-question po nila yung due process, yung kung paano po ito tinalakay, pati po kung paano namin dinetermine yung sufficiency in substance. So ganun po basically yung kanilang naging tugon dito.
Chua says that tomorrow, the House Committee on Justice will have a hearing to tackle the Vice President's response and the request to transfer custody of her supposed bagman, Raul Madriaga. A candidate that will be endorsed by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. cannot beat Vice President Sara Duterte in 2028. That's according to Pulse Asia. But Pulse Asia's Ana Tabunda told BNC's At the Forefront, an administration candidate can have a fighting chance if he or she gains support from both Luzon and the Visayas.
The effect of the endorsement of President Marcos will be nil. They can't just rely on Balance Luzon. Although Balance Luzon is much larger, Balance Luzon is like Visayas and Mindanao combined. They will have to get support from Visayas and Mindanao. In the case of the presidency in 2028, it's going to be hard to find someone who can draw away support from Sara in Mindanao. So they may have to look at a candidate who can draw support, not necessarily be from Visayas, but can draw support from Visayas.
The latest Pulse Asia survey shows improved trust and approval ratings for PBBM, but his numbers are still lower compared to VP Sara's. Tabunda doubts if the president's rating in Mindanao can still improve.
I don't think he can improve his trust and approval ratings in Mindanao, considering that there is this rift between the President and Vice President Sara Duterte. In the case of Visayas, he may have to be seen personally looking after the programs that benefit Visayans.
In other news, controversial lawyer Levi Baligod and the 18 alleged ex-Marines are back at the National Bureau of Investigation as the probe into their alleged cash deliveries to high-level politicians continues. Andrea Salve is on the line from the NBI with the details. Andrea?
Unlike their first appearance before the Bureau last Thursday, when only 16 of them showed up, the group of 18 alleged former soldiers are now complete as they face NBI investigators probing the alleged billions worth of cash deliveries to higher-ranking government officials. Before heading to the assigned division handling the case, reporters were able to speak with their legal counsel, Attorney Levy Baligod, who again insisted that his clients have nothing to hide. He pushed back against NBI Director Melvin Matibag's earlier claim that the group refused to be interviewed one-on-one during their previous appearance. According to Baligod, investigators allegedly went beyond the scope of their subpoena after asking questions about the content of the group's joint affidavit. Matibag had previously said that the questions were limited only to the group's personal circumstances. Today, the 18 men brought copies of their identification cards from when they were allegedly working for then Congressman Zaldi Co. They also brought other documents requested by the NBI, including screenshots of their correspondence and original photographs. However, we have yet to clarify the specific details of the evidence being submitted. When asked about the alleged lack of proof directly linking certain government officials to the supposed cash deliveries, Baligod admitted that some of them did not personally receive the suitcases allegedly containing flood control kickbacks. Mai.
Thank you for the update. Andrea Salvador reporting to us from the NBI. Now, what really happens behind the glamour of the music industry? Coming up next, we're dishing it out with the creative force behind the new music-themed drama, Songs for Selina. Real-life couple and music powerhouses Jay-R and Mica Javier will join us after this short break. Stay tuned. The Daily Dish will be right back.
Welcome back to Daily Dish. From chart-topping hits to powerful storytelling, our next guests are bringing their passion for music to the big screen.
So joining us today are the creative duo behind the new music drama Songs for Selina. Please welcome to the show R&B king Jay-R and singer-actress Mica Javier.
I know, we're extra cool this afternoon. Okay, so before we dive into the film, we want to catch up first with both of you because you guys just actually flew in from LA, correct?
Yeah.
And you guys are somewhat based there. So talk about life today. How does it happen? You guys keep flying in and out. What are you guys busy with?
Ladies
We're here
first.
maybe 3 times a year
Okay.
now. It's really nice to have homes in both sides of the world because Jay-R's family's in LA, my whole family's in Manila. So we kind of have to make it work both sides. It's been really fun. Very different worlds kasi sa States, independent kami, wala kaming katulong, wala kaming driver. We do everything ourselves. And then when we come home, it's really
pampered.
It's really nice.
It's nice though kasi we come from LA tapos pagdating namin dito we feel like, oh, we're home.
Yeah.
And
So
then when we
relaxed.
fly from Manila back to LA, same feeling. It's like, oh,
we're home. You actually get the best of both worlds.
It is, and I like what Mica said earlier, because earlier Ferdi asked her, what do you like better, America or like the Philippines? But you can't compare. It's like comparing apples to oranges. They both have their differences. They both have their perks. So it's pretty different.
You would know.
Yeah, I would know. Yeah. So when she said that, I was like, yeah, that's true. We
You
love the
felt
Philippines.
that.
We love the U.S. equally.
Yeah.
But let's go back to your love story, because you guys have been married for what, 6 years
years.
now?
Yeah, we just had our
Congratulations.
anniversary.
Cute.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. We're curious to know how y'all met and how your love story came about.
Well, big shout out to Apple the app.
Oh,
What's
it
up?
was it.
Well, it was his charity event. I was performing at his charity event, and then Mica's really good friends with him. I was actually trying to meet Apple. I was like, I'll do anything. I'll sing at your charity event. I just want to meet you and this and that. It was my first time really meeting him, and then Mica was there, Barkada.
So I was there. I was invited to support the charity event. And so I went up to Apple's table and his entourage said hi to everybody. And I said hi to Jay-R first. I didn't know who he was. Hindi ko siya kilala. Hindi ko alam na big star.
You didn't know the star that he was.
I had no idea.
He is.
And then I realized, oh shoot, I never actually met this guy. And then he went to perform on stage. And I was like, whoa, he sounds like Usher.
Do you remember the song that he sang? Was it
Follow
Bebot?
Me?
Bebot?
No, it was. So it was an original song. Follow Me.
Yeah, Follow Me, yeah.
Love at First Sound?
No, I like that.
No.
Yeah, I like
Hey, that's
that.
cool. I like that. Never heard that before. Love at First Sound.
Love at First Sound, right? We're gonna coin that. You guys are on the LED screen.
Yeah, so anyways, when he got off stage, I was like, hey, you sound really good. I sing too. I have all these original songs. And then he was like, you don't sing. You don't sing.
Reverse psychology
You don't
work.
sing, right?
So I was like, I got a studio, you know. Let me invite you to my studio. Maybe we
So
can
it was a
record.
professional thing first.
Yeah, so from there we made a song. We made a duet called Tonight, which was the first song that we released together. We got to open for Jennifer Lopez in Wow.
Jenny from the Block?
Yeah.
No
With that
way.
That song.
Oh, I just learned block in Tagalog was purok. So it's Jenny
Purok?
from the Purok.
That was just today.
That's
the makeup
it's, are you sure? Isn't it canto?
Ferdi said.
Di ba canto?
Fine, Jenny from the Canto. Or
Purok.
Purok is more formal. It's like barangay or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys performed together, and this was still professionally.
Yeah, we were just friends.
Not
and then
me. I was like, I was like Gaga Google
I was
already.
telling him, slow down, boy.
Hey,
I'm
put
not
the
ready.
brakes on that.
And is that where we say the rest is history?
Yeah, so it took like 9 months of just hanging out, and then eventually, like he kept asking me, he was like, do you like me or not? And I was like, I do, but like I'm not ready.
He's like, I love you, but you don't love me. Come on, man.
But that's so cute, and you guys actually found a life at the both worlds, the Philippines and in LA. Tell us what's keeping you busy right now. Aside, of course, from your film, which we will be talking about later on, music is always within your hearts. That's what brought you guys together. So what are you guys busy with when it comes to music?
We're still doing music. We're each releasing one song every month, one original new song every month.
Is this a promise to yourselves?
It is.
Yes.
Oh, it is.
It
I love
is.
it.
We
Yes.
kind of took it to another level in terms of commitment to the craft.
Yeah, because we're also content creators, so it gives us an excuse to make content every day. Because we only have 1 month to promote till we release the next one. So every day, content kami, gawa kami ng mga videos about our music and sayawan, kantahan, whatever we can do just to promote the music.
That's so fun. Yeah, I see your content. You guys do a lot of fashion content and just fun real life content. How do you guys decide which content to roll out and like what to do? The bestie.
So I divide it into different pillars.
So you're the one producing and organizing it?
Well, we both do our own separately, and then we'll do
Okay.
stuff together. But in my mind, it's like I want to make lifestyle content for like the beauty girls out there, because I love dressing up and doing all that. But as an artist, I also have to infuse my music and
See, that's the content she makes. Ayan,
and then it's fun. It's fun. No, it just so happens people love the couple's content. So then we show our personality and how we live in LA by ourselves.
Yeah, the real life
And
vulnerability is there. Like, the shenanigans.
Kulit ni Mica, ayan o, yan.
Look at Jay-R ogling.
I know. He's so
still super in love.
He's so cute.
That's so funny. I can't believe this is airing right now. Yung kalokohan namin sa social media. But it's fun. It keeps us connected to our audience here in the Philippines, and then obviously the global Filipino-American audience also. We get to connect. And also we get to connect outside of the Filipino community.
And you, of course, also produce
Yes.
for other talents as well?
Yes.
Okay, so how's
Well,
that? Does it
Jay-R
have to be
does.
Filipino talents or it's a mix?
Well, yeah, it's mostly Pinoy. We have a couple more artists under Homeworks, my label. I'm one of the artists. Mica is one of the artists as well. We have Chris Lawrence, and I have another artist named Jet. He's from Cebu. He's one of our newest artists, very talented kid. Shout out to you, Jet. He just released a song yesterday, actually. So we're constantly producing him. Also, we're trying to do once a month. Also, Jaya's daughter, Sabria. Yeah.
Is with you as well.
Yes. We're putting music out for her. But yeah, we're just we're not really trying to find a bunch of artists, pero we just help out the artists that we believe in talaga.
Yeah, y'all seem so busy. I don't know how y'all have time for like each other, and then you guys produced and also starred in a movie. Let's talk about that now. Songs for Selina. I'm intrigued with the name. I think I have an idea why, but let's talk about why you guys chose that title.
Well, Mica is Selina, as you can see the poster there. Siya yung bida natin with Rachel Coates. And it's about the dark side of the music industry sa Pilipinas. This never gets talked about. It never, there's never anything about it that comes out because usually it's the fun and games and the glitz and glamour of the whole thing. There's never the behind the scenes, and we are unveiling a lot of the truth that happens because there's a lot of stuff that really happens sa mga artists natin dito sa Pilipinas na hindi alam ng tao. And you know, dito sa movie makikita nila parang konting glimpse of what really happens.
It's a story about two best friends who were always into writing music, performing, and they obviously dream of being stars one day. But this movie takes them through the journey and how hard it can get when you're trying to make a career for yourself. And you see two different journeys, how like opposing and opposite the experience can be when they're both going for the same goal.
What made you want to create this and produce it? Are these from personal experiences in the industry?
Yes, it's based off of true stories, off of my stories, Mica's stories, our friends in the industry. And before my father died, I say this always, it's like, I just want to give my father a shout out. Because before he died, for some reason, he kept telling me, Jay, mag-produce ka ng movie, ito na yung next level para sa'yo. You've done so many things already, produce ka ng movie. And every time I would visit him, he would just be saying that for some reason. So now, we finally got this movie out and you know, hope making you proud, Dad. Miss you.
Yeah, you're fulfilling it.
And he's smiling on you guys by doing this. When is this releasing? Or is it out already?
Tomorrow na.
March 18th
wow, so quick.
in all Ayala cinemas. So we want to give a big shout out to Ayala for getting our movie exclusively in their cinemas and Black Cap Pictures for distributing our movie here in the Philippines.
Nice. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to dive into the movie a bit deeper after the break. So stay tuned, guys. We still have Jay-R and Mica on the show when the Daily Dish returns.
Yay.
Welcome back to Daily Dish. Still with us, Jay-R and Mica Javier. I like it when our music plays at the Daily Dish. They're like
so
dancing through
energy.
it.
I love them here every day.
It's making it extra cool for us.
We're becoming cool now, Chal.
I know, Mo.
No, we're cool because of you guys.
What do you mean?
What I also want to get into is when you mention behind the scenes, what really happens in the industry. So what are these topics that people don't usually talk about? Because that's what is actually intriguing me.
Well, really, it's a lot of the business side of it. You know, there's a lot of contracts that artists get into na hindi nila alam, hindi sila educated. And minsan yung mga kontrata, sinasadya nila yun eh. Para, you know, there's, for one thing, it's a business move because may negotiation room, di ba?
Yeah.
They make a default that's like a really low percentage, so there's room for negotiation. But you know, siyempre minsan yung artists excited sila, so they're gonna sign anything, and they don't realize that they're signing away pretty much everything already. Diba? But not only that, there's like sexual favors in the industry, you know, sometimes.
And you guys will be tackling that in the movie as well.
Absolutely. You know, sometimes artists have to do sexual favors to get to where they want to be, and that's.
So it's not a rumor, because I've heard about that, not just in the music industry, just in general, to be like in showbiz, to be famous.
Yes.
And you know, I realized a lot of viewers they don't know what goes behind the scenes. Like, this is kind of the first time people are gonna realize, like, OMG, this actually really does happen. Because mostly it's hearsay. And people always, they want to be an artista. They want to be famous. But with fame comes this. They often don't realize, like, artists have to sacrifice something. So for y'all, what is that one thing that you guys didn't realize while making this movie? Like, oh, this is really what it cost to be famous.
Well, we didn't. We kind of had an idea already before making the movie. That's why we pushed to make it, because people don't talk about it. It's like one of those things that everyone knows about and nobody ever talks about. So if you don't talk about it, or people don't know about it, how can a positive change happen? You know, so that's why we wanted to present it in a way where it's a narrative film. It's entertaining. The music is amazing. The actors are amazing. It showcases Filipino talent in front of and behind the camera. But it also sends a really deep message that we should wake up and be aware. And kung papasok kayo sa industriya, be aware of what you're doing, what you're in it for, who's next to you guiding you, and all of these things, because it matters. And your outcome will also change depending on the decisions that you make early on.
This is a very important conversation that you guys are starting up because of the film that you created. And I could see how personal it is to both of you. May hugot siya.
Meron.
May hugot siya. So I guess to make our audience really relate to it, if you don't mind, share your personal experience of something that you guys went through in the industry.
Okay, well, I had to do a sexual favor to become the king of R&B. No, I'm just kidding. Joke lang yun, ha?
That's where we end the reel. Because we end of that. That's what we post. That's where we splice it and what post. Okay.
That's going to be the headline.
Jay-R, you've been on TV all throughout. I've gotten to work with you way back in the day also. And, you know, we see you almost every day before when it comes to showbiz life and music. I'm sure you've had your own personal experience as well.
Absolutely, and nakikita ko, some of my peers, they go through it talaga with the indecent proposals and stuff. You know,
the thing called the casting couch is a real thing.
And
Not
it
the
sucks.
casting couch.
Not this couch.
This is a safe couch.
And it sucks because I've seen both sides, guys and girls that have done it, and guys and girls that have turned it down, and then their career just goes downward now. So, you know, parang, and it's hard to talk about it kasi once people talk about it, once artists talk about, talagang blacklisted na sila, di ba? So for us, we're not really name dropping anybody, pero we're showing it in the movie na how it happened.
And for awareness as well.
Yes,
But what
awareness.
can people do to stop this? Because it sounds like it's rampant here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And not just the Philippines, it's
Everywhere.
happening everywhere.
Yes,
right?
agree.
I think conversations need to happen. Also empowering people, Filipinos, empowering ourselves needs to be at the forefront, because when you can say no to things and you have a strong moral code, then the outcome can be different for you.
Beautiful. Well, I could see also how you guys are really pro the art and pro the artists when it comes to this film. Aren't you guys scared that you guys could be hitting on certain people and it might, you know, come close to certain stories as well that are currently happening?
Not scared at all.
Not really scared.
No,
If
no.
it's a reality that's going on, then it is what it is.
Oo nga. And kung matamaan sila, ba't kayo natatamaan? Ba't kayo guilty, di ba?
If the shoe fits, then
True.
Yeah, so we're not scared kasi it's really happening talaga.
So it's a much needed conversation talaga.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
So please invite our viewers again to watch this before we have Jay-R sing for us.
Gabu.
everybody, we would love to invite you to watch Songs for Selina. It's showing March 18 onwards in Ayala Cinemas.
Yes, sana manood po kayo. Supportin niyo pong independent film namin, Songs for Selina. Big shout out to our actors in the movie, Rachel Alejandro, Rachel Coates, Gab Pangilinan, Gian Magdangal, Odi Gamora, Tammy Monsod,
Noy Volante.
Noy Volante, Nino Alejandro, Vendetta of Salbacuta, Lian Momanong. There's much more. Of course, Mica Javier and myself are in the movie.
Can't wait.
We'll see you in the theaters, everybody.
We'll definitely watch it. But before we let Jay-R sing, I want both of y'all real quick to give us a sample of the first song y'all talked about. Like the first song you ever wrote. Just like a quick two-liner.
Love at first song and
Love
sound.
at first song and sound.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Tonight is the night we gon' start this party tonight. I just might just find somebody tonight. We gon' fly to the end of time.
Oh my God! Okay, now it's our turn, Mo.
Oh, go.
Anyway, you guys guys are amazing.
Thank you.
The harmony and everything. But Jay-R, you have something special for us. Let's hear your vocals.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, everybody give it up to the queen, not queen. Si Mica yung queen, the king of R&B, Jay-R.
Woo!
Until they bloom, like the first time living life the day I met you. Hate to think that humans have to die someday. 1,000 years won't do. No one ever fell in love, even though I was scared to love. Baby, you know the pain is unbearable. There's no way. Bisalayin ka na mata, pinipining may salamangka. You turn my limbics into a bouquet. Kaway tila sining sa museyong di naluluma. Pinipini kong ginto hanggang kaluluwa. Gonna keep you like a nakashe all my life. Kung sa tingin mo ng oras mo'y lumipas na, patuloy nang mararago yung sa ganda. Still kiss you every single day all my life. If I could paint a perfect picture of a girl in my dreams with a curvy figure, voice of an angel like a symphony. No doubt she's a masterpiece. No matter the color, you're beautiful. You're one of a kind, like a miracle. Hindi ka babanaw hanggang huling araw. Maging kabilang buhay, ikaw ay ikaw. No wonder I fell in love, even though I'm scared to love. Baby, you know the pain is unbearable. There's no way. Bisalayin ka na mata, pinipining may salamangkap. You turn my limbics into a bouquet. Ikaw ay tila sining sa museyong di naluluma. Pinipini kong ginto hanggang kaluluwa. Gonna keep you like a nakashe all my life. Kung sa tingin mo ng oras mo'y lumipas na, patuloy nang mararaguyo sa ganda. Still kiss you every single day all my life. Yeah, 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 yeah. At sa pagdating ng huling araw, wag mag-alala. Ramdamay abang buhay nagkamansya. The world will never take away after love.
Bilyonaryo!
Welcome back to the Daily Dish. We begin world news in the UAE, which announced the temporary and full closure of its airspace. The state news agency says this is, quote, an exceptional precautionary measure amid rapidly evolving regional security developments. The UAE's defense ministry earlier said it was responding to incoming missile and drone threats from Iran. Yesterday, an Iranian drone attack set a fuel tank ablaze at Dubai International Airport. The war in the Middle East is on its third week as the U.S. and Israel pummeled military targets in Tehran, and Israel stepped up bombardments of Hezbollah militants in Lebanon. In Iraq, a wave of drone and rocket attacks targeted the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad early today. Iraqi security sources described it as the most intense assault since the attacks began, with at least 5 drones used. A Reuters witness reported a powerful explosion was heard in the Iraqi capital. There's also a video showing at least 1 drone being hit by projectiles.
Despite rising global oil prices, motorsports remains an important platform for Toyota Motor Philippines, not just for innovation, but also for connecting with drivers. And this year, the action kicks off with a street race. Our mobility correspondent G. Baroga takes us trackside.
Toyota's motorsport program in the country is back on track as the Toyota Gazoo Racing Philippine Cup fires up its new season with a street race in River Park, Cavite. This comes as global oil prices continue to climb amid the Middle East crisis. Toyota PH President Masando Hashimoto says the company is closely monitoring the situation, while looking at how the industry can help without compromising the joy of driving and the fun of motorsports.
We are doing the motorsports here today, but we hope this event could give the more hope or say positive optimism to the people who are now in the Middle East area.
With more motorists considering the shift to electric vehicles, he says EVs are just one part of the solution. Toyota continues to offer a range of options in the country, from EVs and hybrids to diesel and gasoline models, giving drivers the freedom to choose what works best for them. The highlight of this year's race season is the new Tamaraw class, featuring the iconic workhorse that is also now a racehorse on the track. And joining the race himself is Hashimoto-san.
The horse is really tough and quite difficult to maneuver the car. Very tight and so very quick. So I have to push my limit.
For champion racer Inigo Anton, driving and racing a truck is also a first. He says the street circuit is like a baptism of fire with its tight, technical layout that requires focus and precision.
They're on pace with the Vios cars. They have a lot of power and you can see them drifting as well. So it is a definitely new experience and a lot to learn. So I've been really enjoying driving these cars.
Meanwhile, Pawi Base makes his circuit racing debut in the Vios sporting class after becoming a 2-time slalom champion. While there are similarities, he says circuit and street racing require a different approach, especially with stock cars.
Any unnecessary inputs, it's already costing time, so it's a whole different consistency and a whole different execution.
For Gabby De Sales, who's been racing across different disciplines for a decade, learning continues in sprint races. She's also proud to see more women finding their place in motorsports.
It's a small community that we have in this male-dominated sport. We feel empowered in this community, so women belong where they feel empowered.
After the street race right here in River Park, Cavite, the next stop of the Toyota Gazoo Racing Philippine Cup is the Clark International Speedway, a track many racers know all too well. For BNC Mobility, G. Baroga.
Manila just made history in women's professional paddle, hosting the first ever FIP Silver Tournament in the Philippines. Top international players competed alongside local athletes in a groundbreaking event for the sport. Sheila Salaysay has this story.
The Philippines mark a historic milestone in the sport of paddle as Manila hosted the first ever women's only FIP Silver Tournament on the international circuit. Nearly 70 pairs from 17 countries gathered at the Manila Paddle Club, turning the event into a global celebration of women's paddle and a breakthrough moment for the sport in the country. Claiming the inaugural title were two of the sport's most decorated players. Former world number 1 Lucia Sainz and Argentina's Virginia Riera, who became the first ever champions of the women's FIP silver in Manila. The top-seeded tandem dominated the tournament, capping off a flawless run with a straight sets win over Alba Perez and Alba Gallardo 6-2, 6-1 in the final. Argentina's Lucia Riera secured her third title of the year after winning the inaugural Women's FIP Silver Tournament in Manila, adding to her victories in Dubai and Agrigento. Riera said winning in the Philippines for the first time was special, praising the crowd's energy, while her partner Patricia Sainz highlighted the event's importance in promoting the global growth of women's paddle.
We feel like home in Manila, and the organization, it was really good, and we are really happy to take the tournament with us, with the trophy. First of all, we are really happy to be the first winners because that is in the history, and also we are really shocked about how the community is growing and how the people is like feeling about paddle.
The landmark tournament also reflects the rapid rise of paddle in the Philippines, which now has around 15,000 amateur players and a growing number of athletes in the international ranks. 17 Filipino players also competed in the qualifying rounds and main draw, gaining valuable experience against some of the best players in the world.
I'm feeling inspired by the elevation of women's paddle, not just here in the Philippines, but all over the world. It was always a vision of making sure that women's paddle is seen all throughout the world. So the fruition of this initiative with IPA of WPA is an inspiring moment because it's the first ever women's only professional paddle tournament in the world, happening right here at Manila Paddle Club.
The successful staging of the women's FIP Silver signals a new chapter for the sport's continued growth in the country. Sheila Salaysay, Bilyonaryo News Channel.
On entertainment news, a celebration usually means a big party after an Oscar win, but not for Michael B. Jordan. After winning Best Actor at the Academy Awards for his dual role in the vampire thriller Sinners, the actor marked the moment with a burger at a snack chain. Jordan greeted fans, signed autographs, and posed for photos with his golden statuette as customers congratulated him. Sinners entered this year's Oscar with a historic 16 nominations and ultimately took home 4 awards, including Jordan's big win. Still at the Academy Awards, but this time it's romance making headlines. Lewis Hamilton may have just dropped his biggest hint yet about his rumored relationship with Kim Kardashian. The Formula One star left a flirty heart eyes emoji on Kim's latest Instagram post, showing off her glamorous Oscars after party look. Kardashian stunned in a sparkling gold gown from Gucci with matching 8-inch heels. It may just be an emoji, but fans say it's enough to hint that things between the racing superstar and the Skims founder could really be getting serious.
Meanwhile, back home, Filipina fashion icon Heart Evangelista is once again making waves on the global fashion stage. At the recent Paris Fashion Week, Evangelista ranked 5th among the event's key fashion voices, generating an impressive $11.2 million in earned media value. Topping the list were Thai actress Orm Kornapat and Ling Ling Kwong, followed by K-pop stars Felix of Stray Kids and Jisoo of Blackpink. Heart attended shows from major luxury houses including Schiaparelli, Off-White, Mugler, Hermes, Lacoste, Onitsuka, Tiger, Zimmermann, Acris, and Acne Studios. Up next, we will be speaking with content creator Kristine Fernandez. Stay tuned for the Daily Dish.
welcome back to the Daily Dish.
Joining us now via Zoom is Australian-based content creator Kristine Fernandez, who manifested her dream career and dream life through photo and video content. Welcome, Kristine. How you going?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Girl, we're matching.
You're actually matching.
I know we are.
Yes,
Because of
even
us,
with the lace
yeah.
top and everything. It's just, because
Really?
it's cold here, so Monique just had to cover up a little bit.
Yeah, right. Oh,
Anyway, so you are one of the Philippines' biggest exports to Australia, I've got to say, in the fashion world. How did you get into this? And your following is just immense.
Yeah, well, about 3 years ago, it was actually in May 2022, I remember distinctly, my TikTok went viral from a video that started with how I went from having nothing to wear to always having something to wear and feeling more stylish. But before I'd even made that video, what was happening was I was sending a lot of friends how to wear certain outfits because they'd always text me, Kristine, like, I'm going to this thing, what should I wear? Or how can I style this? It doesn't look that nice on me, but I know it can look nice. So I said, after sending, so many texts on WhatsApp, I thought I should just put this on TikTok. And then that way I can just link anyone to these videos. But little did I know that video number 1 would go ultra viral. And then I think by day 3, I think there were maybe 70,000 people on TikTok already on my account.
Wow.
And so I did a major pivot, like a career pivot directly into fashion.
Yes.
I was already working in the online space, so I had some experience navigating that pivot, and so the pivot happened very fast.
I like that word navigate because
we're always trying to navigate especially with fashion. Ferdi is our in-house stylist.
Oh, wow.
I literally go to him for everything, but I'm obsessed with all your content. Girl, I was looking at one of your content and I've been dying to ask this question. You were talking about a button down versus a button up. Half of our viewers probably don't know what that is. I never knew. Ferdi knows because he's Ferdi. Let's debunk that and let's talk about it.
Well, I didn't know either. So basically, I was teaching how to tuck in a shirt to a button-up shirt. And so you would think, it's one type of shirt, right? There's only one way to do it. And then when I unpacked it in my mind, I was like, actually, different button-up shirts tuck differently. And so I showed all of the different variables, such as the thickness of the fabric, the firmness of the fabric, the kind of bottoms that you wear. And so I do this whole series, and that one other video went viral. But are you talking about one of the comments that just came through with a follow-up question?
Yes.
Or a button? Yes. Okay, so one of the comments that came through was like, oh, fun fact, a button up is actually, a button down is when the collar has buttons on the collar so that you can button it down, whereas a button up is a collar that doesn't have that button. And I didn't know that either. So I thought, oh, that's super handy. I should pay that forward.
1,000%. And Kristine, the difference is, I'm sure you do know, but for our viewers, a button down is not appropriate with a tie, but a button up is appropriate with a tie.
Wow, I learned something new every day.
Wow, I'm telling you, honestly, I was saying that I'm not like formally trained in fashion. I worked in fashion for probably about 2 years in the retail space. And that's what gave me the confidence about all of this. But what got me to understand fashion and putting it together was my personal experience as someone who just loves it. And back in the day, I would have clothes and I'm like, how come I never know what to wear to like a picnic? How come I never know what to wear if we're going to go out on a boat? And I'm like, everything felt disjointed. And so when I started upgrading the way that I thought about fashion and the way that I was building my wardrobe, I was like, oh, that's the formula. I'm just going to keep doing that.
Right.
And so everything that I share online is based on like personal experience of what works. But then let's say if someone else applies it and they're like, yeah, that helped me as well. That helped me with packing, this and that. So that was kind of proof that what I was teaching was working.
Yeah. But Kristine, this is very interesting because before you became a superstar in the digital space, you were a former flight attendant, or you were a flight attendant. And I'm sure that career has taught you how to pack properly or pack lightly. How has that influenced your fashion projection?
Do you know what? When I was a flight attendant, I feel like the thing that role influenced me the most was more about presentation. Because the thing about packing as a flight attendant is you have like a full suitcase, but you only ever need to pack like one outfit or two outfits because your trips are so short. So back in the day, when I used to pack and Instagram wasn't really a thing, I wanted to take nice pictures, so I would try to match my background. So if I was going to Germany and it was like snowing, I wanted to look the vibe.
Like a snow bunny.
Yeah. So I used to match the vibe then, but still packing in that way, if I were to apply that now, probably wouldn't be super practical, just because all of the outfits that I would pack back then was very statement or very intentional to that one thing. And if that one thing didn't happen, then I had nothing to wear.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm struggling with right now, Kristine. That's why we also have you here. We're going to consult you. I'm going to consult you personally. Because earlier you were saying it's so hard. Like, you have to upgrade your wardrobe to have like a capsule wardrobe, essentially. You didn't know what to wear for your picnics. Like for me, every event, I have to get like a new outfit, etc. How do I and how do our viewers upgrade our wardrobe so we can just rotate and mix and match pieces that can basically last us forever, so we don't have to keep buying?
Yeah, well, the first shift that makes a really big difference is noticing that there are, like, a capsule wardrobe is your foundation. So it can be your whole wardrobe, or it can be the foundation of so many outfits. So for example, all of the basics that you see here on the screen, they're all just very plain, right? There's no print, there's no pattern, but what they do have is beautiful fabric. So whenever you're like, if you need to pack something and you go, I've got this really beautiful top and it's green and it's, it's got all this texture, it's got all this volume, what can I wear it with? When you have a capsule wardrobe that has very plain, they're all very plain, but are made beautifully, like with beautiful fabrics or beautiful design elements like the shape, then you set yourself up to be able to put together any kind of outfit. So the key to the capsule wardrobe is that it looks basic. It looks from the onset, because it's not fancy, it's not very frilly. It can look very plain, but if you buy good quality and good shapes that suit you really well, your body shape really well, then you'll find that it'll be the foundation for so many outfits that you can create.
Now, what about for packing? Like you said, I normally pack with the background in mind and like having statement pieces. So how do we pack and basically have just normal pieces that still stand out, that are easier to pack? What's your rule of thumb with packing and styling when you're traveling?
So with packing, it's almost like a 2 to 3 step process for me, right? So the first is, when you're going on a holiday, there's definitely pieces that you're excited to wear. You're like, yes, this, and they're like statement pieces. So you put them aside as, these are my wants. I want to wear this. I want to pack this. I don't care if it's practical or not. This makes me happy.
That's me.
And then you have, that's what makes a holiday even, packing for a holiday exciting. But then the other stage is the needs. So your wants are all the nice things that you may not necessarily have anything to pair with. And then you've got your needs, which tend to be the basic things, like your plain tank tops, your plain skirts. But the thing that will tie it all together is one color palette, 1 to 2. If you want to be sort of like have it easy, you choose one color palette where all of the colors complement each other, so that whether you're taking something from the statement piece collection or the capsule wardrobe collection, you'll find nice pairings. And when it comes to shoes and your bags and your jewelry, everything can be a lot more easily interchangeable.
That's my philosophy too, Kristine. Like, 2 colors and that's it, because you keep interchanging that, and at least all your photos on your socials are uniform. But I have a question. When was the last time you came back to the Philippines?
Just recently. I was there end of January till end of February.
So what do you think of Filipino fashion on the street level?
Street level, there's so much variety. There's definitely, I went there and I did a little bit of research at the shops to see what was going on and what was available. And I wanted to see the range. And can I just say, there's a shop that I visited and I bought a few pieces, and till now, I shared the piece online, and till now it's going viral, like around the world, going, where are these pants from? Where are these pants from? So I think we have really great foundations there. We have really amazing talent. So yeah, as an overall, there is so much variety. So I feel like I need to go back there for another.
Yeah, we'd love to have you physically here on the show. Hello, come tomorrow. But
I would love to be there physically.
But the thing is, you know, we've got a lot of amazing creators here in the Philippines. We've got great fabrics that we produce locally, except for cotton, unfortunately. But why do you think Philippine fashion hasn't broken the glass ceiling, for example, in markets like Australia and even Southeast Asia?
That's a really great question. I just wonder whether there's been enough exposure. Because I feel like with some of the pieces that I saw, I thought, oh man, it's just amazing the results that came from like being seen. So I feel like, number one, if, you know, when locals support what we have there and we wear it and we share it, then the rest of the world gets to discover what we have available.
Right.
And I guess that's the point of view that I'm coming from, especially coming from the content creator sort of space, where you can really see what visibility does for the thing is, it's kind of like there's a few steps to it. The designs have to be beautiful, the quality has to be great, and then once the visibility comes through, then you generate more awareness. But then the next bit of that is the commercial bit, right? So it's like, or the logistics. So is shipping available worldwide? You know, if the interest exists, what's the next step to allowing or providing access to other people to be able to experience it and buy and shop Filipino?
Yeah, and something I love Filipino pieces. I love supporting local. And one of my favorite things about Filipino pieces are the weaves and the different colors, the different textures. For you personally, how would you style? Because I know we're talking about minimalism as much as possible, especially when packing and with the capsule wardrobe. So how would you incorporate these bold statement pieces, especially with the fabrics, the weaves, into everyday life?
Oh, I'd probably pair them with our everyday pieces. So like, for example, you know, I was there and I was looking for a Capiz shell type pieces, like anything that would, whether it was an accessory or a piece, and I thought that would look so great with some blue denim jeans, some wide leg blue denim jeans, and you kind of like, you bring it into what we wear every day. I believe it would really work, just because when you have something that's so statement, and you have all of the beautiful textures that we have there in the Philippines, that's exactly how you would sort of pair it and marry it with your capsule wardrobe, because your capsule wardrobe is for your everyday.
Right.
Right. It feels practical, it's comfortable to wear, and then you pair it with something that's a little bit more statement, which is what we can find in the Philippines.
Right.
And then you'll find that you have you can get some really great use out of the pieces that we have there.
I think Kristine, you should definitely come back down here.
Yeah, we need you here.
And we'll make you the rounds with, you know, amazing designers, and perhaps maybe you are one of the keys for us to explode, and let's say even just in Australia, you know what I mean? You're talking about Capiz pieces. There's plenty of them, the designers that use them here, and I think you look great in them. Anywho,
Thank you. So I'd really love to know, honestly, about shipping from the Philippines.
it's possible. We've got friends that sell globally. It's 1,000% possible.
Yeah. And what about like online? Here's me, I'll just ask.
Let's not talk about business.
Online shopping.
There are online shopping facilities here, and I mean, obviously, it's in any designer's socials. You can contact them, and obviously, they'll be able to direct you to their online shops.
Now, Kristine, you just got to come here. We have lots of questions for you. I know you have a lot of questions for Ferdi, so we'll see you in person.
Yes.
I'd love to see you guys in person.
Well, thank you again for your time and for all the tips you gave us. We'll have you again on the show soon. That was content creator Kristine Fernandez.
Thanks, Kristine.
See you guys.
See
Bye.
ya. And we'll be back after a quick break. Make sure to stay with us here on The Daily Dish.
Welcome back to the Daily Dish. Tomorrow, we'll speak with award-winning journalist and former UN women consultant, Paula Del Monte. She'll tell us about how she uses media and language to empower women and marginalized communities. We'll also have actor Marlo Mortel to talk about his new project, Caught in the Act. Catch it at noon, only here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. And that's it for us today, Tuesday, March 17. Join us again tomorrow for more Real Talk.
A lot of spilled tea.
With Zero Filter, I'm Monique Tuzon-Basi. Anytime is a good time because it's always more fun with us.
I'm Ferdi Salvador, always on top of the news and stories that matter most to you.
I'm Chal Lontoc. Stay tuned to the Bilyonaryo News Channel.
Thanks for making us your lunchtime companion. I'm Mai Rodriguez, and that's the Daily Dish. Serve!
Happy Tuesday!